Hello everyone and welcome back to the Critter Corner. This week I'm going to be talking about reptiles that I would never keep. This is kind of the part 2 to my dream reptiles video. This is the opposite of my dream reptiles. Reptiles that I adore from a distance, but either I don't want them in my house or I don't want to get very close to them. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Again, they're not in any particular order, and there might be a couple amphibians on this list, but yeah. The first reptile I'm gonna talk about that I would never own is a sulcata tortoise. Now, this is really hard because I love sulcata tortoises. They are so sweet, they're beautiful, and I know there's so many in rescues that need wonderful homes. So if you feel like you can handle a sulcata tortoise, that would be wonderful if you could rescue one. I am personally against buying a sulcata from a breeder just because there's so many in rescues. But I personally cannot handle one. I love them. I have a video of me feeding one right here. I feed them at a local zoo near us, and they're super duper sweet. And they start off really small and they get huge. Not only do they get huge, they're pretty powerful. I've seen the picture, which you've probably all seen, of the tortoise going through drywall. That is something I don't want in my house, and I know they would probably be like pretty bored to do it, but I still don't want that. And also, I don't really have the space. They need a lot of space. They're huge tortoises. They also would really benefit from an outdoor area, which I can't really provide. I live in a townhouse. We don't have a backyard. And I also live in Virginia, where it gets very cold in the winter. So, although I adore sulcata tortoises, I will never ever be getting one unless I own maybe a reptile rescue. But yeah, reptile that I would never own, sulcata tortoise. Up next, we have a green iguana. Now, iguanas are not for me really at all. In my dream reptile list, you saw that I talked about Fiji banded iguanas because they are so beautiful and don't get as big as green iguanas. And I would love a Fiji banded iguana. They're gorgeous, but I probably won't ever be getting one because of how expensive they are. But green iguanas, I've seen, they're mean, they're like powerful. Like, they have those tails, they have their jaws, they have a lot of weapons, their claws, and they're just really big. Green iguanas though, like, again, I think they're beautiful. I've seen a lot in the wild in Florida, but I would never keep one. If I were to get something that required that much space, I would probably get a tegu, because tegus are a little bit bigger, maybe around the same size, depending on the individual. But tegus are really big, but they're really sweet, and they have powerful jaws, but are they gonna bite you? Maybe not. So yeah, green iguanas I will never be getting. Pretty much any iguana really too. Blue iguanas, all the iguanas, I don't think I could ever keep one. And again, if you can take care of an iguana, that's amazing. I cannot, and I don't want to. Next, we have an amphibian, and that is White's tree frogs. I know everybody has White's tree frogs. I don't want them at all, like at all. I don't like animals that attack me as soon as I open the door of the enclosure. And although frogs, their bites don't really hurt, they're just doing it because they want food. They think your fingers are food. If you've seen Jessica's Animal Friends, her videos of her white tree frogs are so funny, but they scare me to death. I just don't want that. And I think they're really cool. They're really big tree frogs. So, I mean, they're gorgeous and I really like them. I don't want them in my house. That's most of the stuff. I adore it from a distance. I don't want it. And that goes from a lot of tree frogs that have similar behavior. Again, I talked about Amazon milk frogs in my last video because they're gorgeous, they're adorable. I think they're worth it. White tree frogs, I don't. For me, I don't want them. Next up, we have tokay geckos. Now, tokay geckos can have really beautiful patterns. Here's a picture of the one I took at the zoo. My boyfriend really wants a tokay gecko, but he doesn't want to take care of it. So I would be the one taking care of it, and I would get bit a lot, probably. Again, they're just mean, and I know you can tame them down, but in order to tame something down, you usually have to take a couple bites, maybe a lot of bites if it's a tokay. And I think they're really cool. I love arboreal geckos, but tokays, I mean, they draw blood. Like, I've seen their bites. They look like they hurt, and I just don't want that. I want an animal that's not going to jump at me when I open the enclosure. And yeah, I would love to, like, see a tokay, but not hold one, not try to interact with one. Next on the list, we have bearded dragons. Now, a lot of people have bearded dragons. I don't. Like I said in my dream reptile video, if I were to get a lizard that size, I would get a chuckwalla. I would even get a blue-tongued skink before I got a bearded dragon. I don't like them that much. And I know they can be sweet and they can be cool, but bearded dragon owners do not do a good job at hyping up bearded dragons, because I've heard from every single one that their poop is the worst thing on the planet. So why would I want that? Yeah, I don't. And that they're kind of crazy. And they also, they're kind of like, I don't like the texture of their skin. Their nails get sharp, and they're so susceptible to metabolic bone disease. I understand UVB, I understand what's the right one for them and everything, but I would still feel really nervous that, like, something would be wrong with my UVB and they weren't getting it right, or they weren't getting the right nutrients, and I'm just really scared of that. So for me, they're not worth all the worry, but I respect them. I've held a bearded dragon at the reptile petting zoo near me, and I think they're really cool. They're just not my thing, and I feel like everybody has one, so I can adore them from other people's Instagram accounts and not from inside of my house. And the last thing on our list are chameleons. Now, there is not a single chameleon that I would want to keep, just because I hear from every single person that they are so fragile, and I don't trust myself to take care of one. Like, I also don't want to put in the time and effort to take care of one. But people that have them and, like, they're thriving, I really respect them. I think that's a really big accomplishment, and I mean, it's really cool. And I think chameleons are gorgeous. Like, there's so many that are just so beautiful, and I like looking at them from afar. I've also heard that chameleons aren't as trusting as some other reptiles, so it also work up some time to, like, bond with them, and their tongues kind of freak me out. But yeah, I think they're beautiful. I just don't think my lifestyle would match with a chameleon, with how much care they require, and I also don't want something I'm gonna have to take to the vet like every other week, because they have so many issues. And yeah, they're really pretty, but I don't want a chameleon. And I think at PetSmart they're sold as a beginner species, which is crazy, and people don't realize how much work goes into them. So yeah, that is everything on my list of reptiles that I will never keep. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel like a lot of people might be able to relate to this list. Some people might be like, what are you talking about? Bearded dragons are the best thing ever. You need one right now. So definitely let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with some of these. And also let me know if any were on this list that you would never keep. Maybe some people would never keep a leopard gecko. I don't know. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.